So it's 13:02. Let's start the meeting or the presentation. So I'm Erik, the platform manager at TD SYNNEX Belux. Session 2, season 2, episode 8. We go on Stream1 platform. As always, if you have questions, do not hesitate to interrupt me. I'm gonna put your mics on so you can talk if you would like to. Or you can use the chat or the Q&A window. But don't hesitate if you have questions, something is you have a doubt, something's not clear, just contact me. I'm watching the Q&A window as much as possible and the chat window as well. Okay, so today, not that much content. The aim is to do a lot of, or most of it as a demo, not as slideware. So 3 topics. I'm going to come back first on the EST term, now that it's finally 100% clear what happens and how it is implemented in Stream1. So you should know this. If not, okay, not a problem. So the new term, the EST, is on seat-based licensing only, and it's only available at renewal. Well, that's new. That was not in previous sessions. So you cannot purchase from scratch an EST license. So you always need to have a license that going to renew, and then you can choose to renew into EST. That's communication on Microsoft. So it's a multi-term with multi-billing, but it's fully flexible. So you can stop or cancel it or change quantities at any time you want with prorated credit. So you pay it upfront, and if you stop it mid-term or after 2-3 days, you get a refund to the end of the billing cycle. So that May 4th, meaning that as of May 5th, all licenses that are renewing can have this option to be renewed into the EST term. Before it was announced as April the 1st, but it is May 4th. Okay, there is one small error on this slide. Actually, it is not, let me rectify this immediately. It's not 20%, it's 20 plus 3%. So basically, if you have price-wise, so if you have a year, which is our basis to calculate pricing, so you have a year price of 120 euros, calculated with 10 euros a month. If you take it in a yearly, monthly, so yearly term with monthly payments, you have an uplift of 5%. It comes to 10 euros and a half per month. The monthly term with monthly payment, 20% uplift. Giving you 12 euros a month. So, and the extended service term, it is based on the per month, on the yearly, it's at 20% plus 3%. So not 23, but 20 plus 20% plus 3%, which gives you a bit more than 12,30. So it's a bit more than that. So beware of this price change. If you go to EST, that it will be a bit more than the monthly. So existing end of term options, you can renew into a new term. So as simply upgrade it, change the term of the billing, quantity changes, align end dates and stuff like that. Into EST, monthly term with monthly payment, as said, but no change in type or quantity. So if you have like 50 licenses to expire, you want to go to EST, you need to first put them EST, and then you can change the quantity afterwards. So you cannot say you do EST and go to 30, for instance. That would not be possible. You can cancel at end of term, which is a 90 days retention. Today, if you go to EST, there will be no grace period anymore. No, sorry, there is a 90 days retention, so your administrators can still get the data, or if you buy new licenses, it will reactivate the services as was. But there is no more grace period as of May 5th. So everything which cancels at May the 5th immediately will be not usable anymore for the customers. So where before you had a 30 days grace period or 7 days in a monthly term, you will have non-grace period anymore with the EST. So beware of that. Cancellations or do not renewals will give an immediate impact on the customers afterwards. Obviously, there is no charge as the grace period is off, so everything will be done. So applied on license bought after May the 4th, 2025, and that ends after May 4th, 2026. So as of May 5th, it will start. Other licenses, options as was, auto renew off or on. So how does it look in Stream1 Ion? So you go to your subscription, seat-based, you click on Manage Renewal. So first, for instance, this is an exchange online which expires on April the 6th, or renews on April the 6th. So first thing you do then is you set the auto renew on, gives you per default cancel as an option with the term as it says, so cancel stops customer service at the end of the term, data retention is preserved and stuff like that. Or you can go to extended service term with a 3% uplift compared to the monthly licenses. You will also see that's on the text below. If your license will stop before May 5th or on May 4th, and you go to EST, you get this notification. Yeah. So then you go to the old way of working, meaning just cancel it with a 30-day grace period on a yearly return. So that remains, but you can already click it on if you would like to test it on an existing subscription that stops May 5th or later, then you can make advantage or take advantage of the 3% uplift with the extended service term. Okay. Clear questions on this one? Let me check. Okay. Second I want to show is, because I get a lot of questions these days, most probably due to the EST that exists, is, so I have my subscriptions, but how can I get a full inventory of what is active in a subscription with my customers, what is not active, which is going to expire, which is going to renew and stuff like that. So your inventory of licenses can be found under the subscription module, yeah, where you have all subscriptions across all customers, vendors, and in any state. Yeah, if you go to your customers, automatically the deleted or hidden, and there's a filter that applied automatically. In the subscriptions, it is not the case. So you see all subscriptions that are and that were on your environment for all your customers. You can filter it on customers by providers, product, subscription status, and auto renewal status, or you can do a free search where you can put any keyword and basically the system will try to find that word. You can export them and you can manage your columns. So let me show that. How does it look like? Where is my here? So here is the subscriptions module. I am, as usual, in my demo environment. So subscriptions. So giving me the full list of all my subscriptions, of all my customers, over all my vendors that I'm using with any state. Now it will take a while to download. While it's busy, you can put the filters on. For instance, say I want to check for a specific customer. Oh, sorry, I forgot something to do. Let me first go here. I need to do something behind the scenes. 1 second, please. It will work better if I go to the correct customer. Here we are. So let me check again. Yes, now in my correct demo environment. So here are my subscriptions. I can manage the columns that I want to see. I can filter it. For instance, say I want to filter it on customer X, Y, Z. Let me first load everything here. Where they are. Okay, so here I can filter on, for instance, a specific customer. You apply filter, and then there is nothing I knew on that customer. So you can filter the cloud provider, the products, the status. That's maybe more important, that you can filter on the active licenses, and depending on the vendor, because every vendor has other words of even representation is active or non-active, you can then select those that you want to see as active or non-active or whatever. Where they are. So here I want to only see the active, and for instance, interesting is suspended in Microsoft World, because you can have a license that is suspending, so you still pay for it. You can still get invoiced for it, but it's not usable anymore. For instance, in AvePoint, you have in progress. So depending on the vendor, you might need to click other words to see all the licenses, subscriptions you want. I'm going to apply the filter. And you see I have 155 lines. You see at the bottom. Is this big enough, by the way? I can maybe make it bigger. Stop. So you see now that other status is only those that I have, and instead of 151, I only have 12 lines that left. I can also filter on the renewal status, like on or off or auto renew. Again, depending on the vendor, you will get other keywords in here. So auto off, or for instance, enable EST. You can see here which are now enabled into EST, so you can easily filter them out and work on those ones if you would like to. Or you can clear all the filters to go to the default view again. So each time we're going to filter the current status as is known between Microsoft or the vendor and TD SYNNEX. Let me clear them out. Let me copy this while we're busy. For instance, if you want to see all your customers that have a specific license, you might put it in here. And again, filter that out to your needs. This is working fine. This is working good. So let me find all those that have a kiosk license. Obviously, it will only be one in my example here, but it's the case. So you can find all customers that have a specific license by using the product code or using the words or wording or whatever. And then you can export them. Export is here. If you click, if you want all the lines, you can say only want this line and this line. You say export as CSV. And then you get this kind of CSV. We can quite easily say I want to data text to columns. It's delimited. Next, comma. Not needed in this case, but let's do it anyway. Make the numbers European-wide. Finish, and then you get all that is. All the fields that you had on your screen are now here as well in the Excel sheet, where you can then rework or do whatever you want to do with it afterwards. Don't save. And you can manage your columns here, where you say, I don't want, for instance, the PSA status. I'm not using a PSA, so I don't want it. you update it, and obviously the column will be gone. You can change the order, whatever you want to do with the columns, you can change this order. So basically, your inventory is behind the subscriptions. If I go to a customer, I'll just give you the difference, open a new tab. If I go to a specific customer and see the inventory, you will see that for default, the deleted items are filtered out. So you see them all here, but you cannot, but you don't see the deleted items on this view per default. So at the customer level, those are filtered out. At the subscription level, you see them all, also the ones that are gone. Okay. Second question I get a lot lately is, well, what happened with my product, with my orders? So what's the history of all the orders that have been done during the last couple of weeks, days, months, whatever you want to have. So the history basically is in the orders module. So you can see again all history across all customers, all vendors. So whatever is done, successful or non-successful, you can filter it. You have a free search, and you can also export these lines. So let me go to the subscription module, or the orders module, sorry. Where you see here all orders that have been done. You can again, let's search here Staby, because there is something on it. Staby, I want Staby 7, 8, 9. And you see all orders only for Staby 7, 8, and 9. There is none on 9, I knew that. But you see also Staby 8 is here, and there has been one order that has been in error. If you open an order, the one you see here, so in the gray box, is the error coming back from the vendor. Yes, so especially which is under the line, also giving why there is why this is failed. For instance, I bought here a non-profit license on a tenant which is not non-profit qualified. So there obviously you cannot purchase it. So Microsoft sending us back the notification, hey, look, you cannot order this because well, you're not qualified to order this license. So each time in this gray box, you can see the error coming back from the vendor. See also the pricing information of the subscription, and you can eventually also, on a successful order, let me take one that is completed, this one for instance, you can also go in and manage the order or the subscription straight off the orders module. You made a mistake, you need to cancel it, you go in and you can cancel, or you can change quantities of whatever you want to do, as long as you're within the parameters of the vendor's possibilities to change or to cancel a subscription. Okay, let me take another one where there is some activity. Now let's, for instance, these Teams Rooms Pro. So here on the right side, you see the full history of the license. So for instance, at 31st of May 24, it was initially ordered with 5. A bit later, it was put to 4. The renewal settings were updated. Again, it was paused. Then it was again uplifted from 4 to 5 on the 7th of March. And again, the renewal settings were changed on the 7th of March. So basically here you can see the full history of the subscription. And if you click here on the number, you go actually to the state it was. You see now it's at 4 with the pricing information at that moment. So you go see the current information from this environment. If your customer wants to have an overview, you can download an order form, which obviously you can also change with your name and details on it, which becomes a PDF. which give you the information as is that you can send eventually to your customer saying, look, this has been purchased, this has been the price, and so on. So you can download these order forms straight off the orders module in StreamOne Ion, or you can send an email confirmation to your customer stating, okay, so this is the addresses you need to put in, then you can send the file out to your customers or prospect or whatever you have, or you want to send the files to. So basically, being able to inform your customer or what has been purchased, what was the price, and so on, immediately after the purchase, as soon as the order is come into a completed status. Going back to the customer, you also have an orders here. Obviously, this is just a filter on all orders for this customer. Giving the same possibilities. If you go in, you have the same possibilities, the same look and feel, but you now start from the customers, go into the orders instead of going from the orders, and then eventually go back to the customers. So you can switch easily between both environments to see what's happening on your post customers, on the subscriptions and licenses that you have bought and that you have managed during or over time. Obviously, all changes you do will also be visible in the reports. You will see I have a lot of reports. Just make sure that you have the correct fields in there to see also the changes. For instance, this one, let's take it. This one. So it's from the 1st of January 2025 to the 28th of February. So it's a year, basically a year, the 1st of March till the 28th of February this year, where you can now see all change that has happened in quantities, in pricing. You can basically, if you want a history for your customers on what happened with licenses, you can take this report again, save it out as a CSV, and then you will see all the changes that has been, quantity changes, purchases being done during or over time. It's a lot, so let's export this to CSV. Put it. You see a lot of lines. I have 105 lines. As always, by the way, you can doing this more automatic by using Power Excel add-on. You can basically do all these steps in a more automated way, even changing the points and the commas. So make it European wide. And here you can see then for any subscription that you have, for instance, let's take okay, what I do normally is I make it a table. It's a bit more workable for me. You take a subscription ID, for instance, this one, there are some lines, filter on the sales value, and then you see whatever happened with that license, see changes, remove quantity, add quantities, and also the impact on the billing for you and for your customer is visible here in this table. Yes. This table is now without the manufacturer code, which is recently added. So you can add also that field to see it's a yearly, monthly, whatever you want to do. So this is basically still the text, the 1 month commitment for monthly billing. With monthly billing, you see the billing frequency, but now you can also add the field to have it as a full, oh, it's here. Sorry, it's there, column I. The manufacturer partner, which give you the same, so the P1MM, but you can give the full history to your customer for X time, as long as you put on the reports what happened with the license and what was the impact of any change on the billing towards that customer. Within Excel, put a pivot table on if you want. So basically giving all information to your customers that they might need at a given moment in time. If you save a report, you make a new one, you can save the current one, or for instance, I saw that I don't need those fields anymore. report columns. So the billing frequency, I don't need it anymore because it's now the SKU ID I don't need anymore. Okay, update, and in the columns, in the grouping, report the grouping, I don't need the billing cycle anymore because all those are now into my manufacturer part number. But you see the billing cycle is still there. Why? Because I changed it from one to another. The billing cycle, remove. Okay, update. Also, if you work with price books, you can also see which price book has been applied for this customer. That's maybe more your internal information. You might not want to change that with your customers, but you can see the price book that has been, here it cost plus 50%, that has been applied, custom fields that can be put into the report. So basically you can build the reports any way you want with all data. If you save it, date range will be saved. So mostly what I do, put it on last month, so I can verify my invoices in an easy way. Because I get an invoice this month is basically everything that happens the month before. So I can see now, or this month invoice, I should have these numbers being invoiced and why. I see something from Maverick, something. Yeah, something we done for Maverick, our internal department for the big screens. So basically, reseller PO number that has been filled in, the price book that has been applied is always the same. Can be another price book on if you want into a subscription. So basically, all information can be put on the reports, and you see they have multiple reports depending on the vendor. So the AWS billing customer report, the GCP billing customer report, the Microsoft CSP billing customer, and then for everything else is the SaaS billing report. So if you have iPoint, Python, IBM, whatsoever, and Microsoft Legacy, they're all in the SaaS billing customer report. They're not in any of the three other reports that I mentioned. And if you want to see the price book allocation per customer, you can basically take this report and you see then for all customers what price book are being used, what's the adjustment that's being done, and so on, so on, so on. If you want to have your management or your financial department or sales department, whatever, look at this, you can see, okay, this is what we apply as a price for any given customer at any given moment from the price book. But you will see, or you will not see, total cost. Yeah, the price book is named 50%, but basically it's a 25% adjustment that has been applied in the price book. Okay. Customers, questions, remarks. I've been a bit off, but that's my enthusiasm, I'm afraid. A bit off topic, but I wanted to give you some more insights in where you can find information in the StreamOn platform. So if you open an order, you get a full list with all the details. If you click on the, basically click on the number on the blue line, and you can see all information at that moment on the subscription. As always, where you can find training information, go to the Channel Academy. It's a clickable line in the PowerPoint or in the PDF, so you can go immediately to the learning platform where you can find all information. Let me show you one other thing that is important on Ion. Maybe you have used it, maybe not, but you have the small book here, the resources, where you can basically, this is a manual, a built-in manual of StreamOn Ion, where you can find, well, basically all information you need on all the parts of StreamOn Ion, like subscriptions. So subscription module, what can you do with the subscription module, and so on and so on, so on. So the full details of how the subscription module works, but also like I'm using an email template and I want to change my from address. You can here see that in this text how to do that. So you can basically find all information. A lot of questions will be answered if you open the booklet on the top of your screen to get more information out of 319. So you have the Brainshark training videos, but you also have built-in information in the platform. Upcoming events from the team. So Friday, 3rd of April, Corporate Strategy Workshop 3. If you already participate, if you're not, you can still enroll. Secure migration in practice from VMware to Azure AVS with IE Drive and security. 23rd of April, a webinar, Migrate to Innovate AI with Azure and Fabric. 24th, Corporate Deep Dive Workshop 1, and there is the follow-up on the 19th of May, Corporate Deep Dive, so the Workshop 2. Platform updates, as announced, 27th of April and 18th of May. Annual, you can see all the others, webinars and trainings that we do till June. And obviously over summertime there will be not too much trainings anymore or webinar, but then in September we'll start with new rhythms and new sessions. Questions, remarks? Oh, I forgot to change it. So not March the 30th, but the date we saw. If tomorrow after on you have questions, you have remarks, please hyperscaler.be@tdcinex.com. The team is always looking at that address, that mailbox, from basically 8:30 till 17:30. That mailbox is monitored and captured with all the data. Okay, questions, remarks? I know it's not an hour. If not, I would thank you for your presence here and hope to see you in the next sessions. Have a good day. Bye.